What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. First off, happy Thanksgiving to all around the country. So, we've been talking so much about Conor McGregor. There is one last thing that I wanted to get in there before I go eat my turkey dinner here in a few hours. And I want to refer to a channel that I watch quite a lot. If you've not subscribed to him, his name's Jesse on Fire. And he's on fire for a reason because he got me fired up about this Conor thing. You know, I've been talking for quite a while about how I feel like the story of Nikita Hand is very, very shaky at best. Well, no one puts it more eloquently than Jesse on Fire in this video right here. So we're going to look at it really quick, and then we're going to talk about it for a minute. So the first thing that I'm going to do is share this to you, like boom, boom, and off we go.
I would like to address this right out of the gate. Okay. So suggest I watch Luke Thomas videos on this. Don't need to. Stood to gain very little for this for such an arduous battle. All right. Also, you got to trust a jury and the extensive injuries she apparently suffered. Okay. So we're going to start right there. Number one. Okay. So she has injuries. Agree. How'd she get them? She says Conor, right? She said Conor. Okay, well, there were two other people who were physically there at the time that she said that Conor did this. Both of them said she's lying, testified to it. Because we got to trust the jury, right? Like we have to. So here you go. You got to trust a jury, right? Okay, well, the people who testified to the jury, both other people said she's lying. So Conor says she's lying. The other guy says she's lying. Her own friend says she's lying. Okay. She stood to gain very little from this arduous battle. That might be the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. She was suing for 750,000 euros because she said she had to relocate her house.
Okay, I'd like to interject right here. I heard from a couple of more sources that when this civil case first came about, she was originally asking 1.7 million. 1.7 million, which is more than half of what Jesse is referring to here. But either way, the point stands. To say that she stood to gain very little from this is just absolutely ludicrous. She stood to gain quite a lot from this. Now, at the end of the day, I don't think she got as much as she wanted, what she was immediately after, but she absolutely stood to gain quite a lot. Conor's a wealthy man, okay?
She stood to stand very little. Just that part. Just the part. I had to flee my house. 750,000 euros. Is that a very little amount of money? Okay.
I also like to add here, her fleeing the house. Okay. She lived with a boyfriend at that time who was also the father of her child. They lived together at that time. When this civil case came out and when she made these accusations against Conor and James Lawrence, her and her partner split, part ways. You can imagine why. You know, you're dating a girl and all of a sudden you find out that she spent a 3-day bender with Conor McGregor, drinking, snorting yayo, all of the above. So you have to understand that the reason she can no longer pay for that home and the reason that it split is, one, because she claimed she couldn't work anymore. But two, her and her boyfriend split. I wonder why. I'm just saying, you know, if I heard a story from my lady like this, I would be like, you know what? Sorry, I just don't think this is going to work between me and you. Let's keep going.
And here's the thing. I'm not going to watch Luke Thomas's video because I don't want to get into it with Luke. He's a good dude. I went too hard at him last time. I'm not going at Luke, and I know it'll piss me off.
Luke basically pinned Conor against the wall. You know, I mean, as far as Luke Thomas is concerned, and I did watch the video while I was on the treadmill at the gym, Luke Thomas pretty much thinks that he's even criminally liable for this, not just civilly. Okay, so I'll save you the time and the effort watching Luke Thomas's video.
Because it will not be able to answer the most crystal clear, obvious question of all, which is, When she reported Conor, okay, she said, Conor did this to me. And yeah, he's the only one that I was with. And then assumed that no one else was going to come forward. And then his own friend, Conor's friend came forward. He's like, dude, I had sex with her too. This chick is a cokehead whore. And then she's like, that's not true. He's lying. He's lying to cover. And then they found like security camera footage of both her kissing Conor and kissing the friend. 2.5 hours after Conor left the hotel, she's making out with the other guy at the bar. She goes back up to the hotel. She had sex with both of them. It's ridiculous. It is such an obvious lie that it actually hurts my brain that I have to talk about this. Now, the reason why I'm so worked up about it now is because literally this guy's losing everything. He's losing all of his sponsors. Proper 12 dropped him, Hitman dropped him, and now, like, basically, I just read this list. Every one of his sponsors is dropping him.
I want to be clear. I am not a Conor McGregor shill. You know, I've been watching this sport since 1993. I've watched it grow. I've watched it evolve. So when the first MMA mega star came along, I was like, hell yeah. You know, this is really giving the sports that I love so much some notoriety. This is really putting our sport on the mainstream map, right? So I was all high on Conor at first, of course, and then I was actually disappointed in Conor when he started slapping people in pubs, slapping fans' phones out of their hands, throwing dollies at buses. I was like, come on, man. You know, Dana White and all of us who have been supporting the sport from the beginning have been trying so hard to put this sport on the map and put out there the narrative that is actually the truth, that because you fight in a cage, you're not some sort of barbarian. You can be a cage fighter and still go out and be a good, law-abiding, family man sort of citizen, right? So when Conor started doing all this stuff, I was kind of pissed at him. I mean, I'm kind of sour on Conor. So I'm not some sort of Conor nut hugger or Conor shill here, okay? I just want to be clear about that. But lies are lies. Indiscrepancies are indiscrepancies.
Because this cheating, lying, crackhead girl, and by the way, let's just go back to that too. You do realize that absolutely 100% verified, she had a boyfriend, okay? She has a boyfriend and a kid at home. She outreaches Conor, slides in his DMs, takes pictures of herself like, hey, are we going to meet up? She meets up with him at like, 6 a.m, agrees to go to his hotel, does blow with him, gets blacked out more,
sends him provocative pictures, sends messages to him, reaches out to him, DMs him.
Okay, like, what is she doing there? And the whole time she's sending texts to her boyfriend. Oh, I'm fine, honey. Everything's great. Don't worry. I'm having a really just stone-faced lying to this guy. Is that the kind of girl that you're all, oh yeah, this is a really bulletproof source of information? Okay.
So I'm going to stop right there. But I would just like to say that in light of all of this, I feel like the Irish justice system should be quite ashamed, to be honest with you. They call him Jesse on fire for a reason. He got me fired up about it. That's for sure. But I feel like the justice system should be ashamed looking at all of the holes in this woman's story. And all of the things that Jesse on Fire I mean, there were people that were there physically in the room with her and Conor, literally in the next room, testified. They never heard a thing, never noticed a thing, never saw any signals of distress coming from Nikita Hand, okay? Everything was completely fine, right? And then later on, like I said, 2 hours later, she's seen making out with James Lawrence, making out with the other guy. I mean, are these actions of a woman who was just brutally assaulted hours before? Okay. So I'm not going to keep going on and on about it. I have talked about this ad nauseum. I know, you know, everybody's just tired of hearing about Conor McGregor, but this guy's losing everything. And listen, I've said all along, okay, Conor McGregor could never make another penny as long as he lives, and he would still die a very, very rich man. Okay? None of us need to worry about Conor's livelihood. Okay? But he's still a young man. He's 35, 36 years old. He's losing all of his sponsors. Proper 12 dropped him. IO Interactive, the Hitman game, dropped him. He's losing other sponsors as we speak because his name is being held synonymous with this sexual assault on a woman. Okay. And whether you like the guy or not, or whether he's done some stupid things in his past, I don't like to see anyone go down for something that they are not guilty of doing. Okay. And for anyone that thinks, oh, she's not lying, nobody would lie, but there's not people out there that would do that. Bullshit. Anybody remember a few months back? I think it was just this summer when Alex Pereira was accused of grape by Meredith Brown, who's this TikToker who got on TikTok and just left like a 20-minute video of her just rambling about how Alex Pereira is just this, sex hungry, just bastard that just eyed her the whole evening and just made her feel super uncomfortable. But yet she never left. Had a million chances to leave, had a million chances. They separated, and then she came back with them again later, had every chance in the world to get away from being in the room alone with him. And then she tells this lies. less than 24 hours after she puts out these allegations, she deletes everything and reneges on everything that she said, draws back every allegation that she put out there. Why is that? Why is that? She was lying. She was lying, hoping to get something out of it. She put the feelers out there. Once the feelers came back empty, once she cast the line out, reeled it back in, and there was no fish on it, she's like, damn it, I could get in trouble for this. And she could have. She could. Nikita Hand could. So the Irish government and the Irish justice system, I think, has really failed Conor McGregor here. Now, listen, Conor's not a perfect person. We all know that. That's obvious. Okay. He's made plenty of mistakes. He does have violent tendencies. That, however, does not necessarily make him a rapist. Doesn't make him not a rapist either. But if you look at this case and just all of the holes in it and all the discrepancies in the case, it really, now that I'm really starting to process it and mull it over, it blows my mind. Blows my mind that they're actually holding him liable for this. And listen, it's more than just the 250 grand, guys. At 250 grand, that's, to Conor McGregor, that's nothing. Okay. But it's more about the stigma. You know what I'm saying? Of that being a sexual assaulter. Is that a word? Assaulter? Probably not. Either way, being someone who would sexually assault someone, that stigma just hanging over the top of you. And I think Dee Devlin, his fiance, when she attacked that chick online, she's onto something. She pretty much said exactly what happened, exactly what everyone is starting to think. I think everyone on the outside is starting to look at this through a different lens. And I've been saying from the beginning, man, I'm a pretty good judge of character. This chick just looks like she is a conniving, lying problem with already pre-existing mental health. That's it. That's it. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below. All right. Eat lots of turkey, guys. I know I plan to. All right. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.